Says it's time to set the outpost free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to the rival captain. Freedom is not worth having in a world that's doomed. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. That hit the spot, wrecked it. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it, then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. It's complicated. Give it another try. You're in. Keep going. Here's the second line of defense. Smoldering already. Give it a good smack. Give it a good smack. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger. Thinks you did a great job capturing the rival's third outpost, and believes the rival is weak enough to engage them at their fort. Says it will be a relief to finally have it over. Such a bright day to wander around in. Let's see. They've been waiting for you. Taking control of this fort will bring peace between your tribes. The plan is to fling you over the wall with a sling lobber. However, he wants you to secure a hard hat first, should anything go wrong.
Hello?
It's better you go and find one for yourself. It can't be too much trouble, though. It's one size fits all. Going to get a workout up in the mountains. Heads up, that's Peak Spot, a great place to watch the world from. Who knows who might be watching you? care of it. That's hard to come by. That seems the keys need to be in sequence to make the ring dinger work. Just a few moves left. Make them count. So, the technology from yesterday's is still here today, even if its message is getting old. Stories keep moving whether you drive them or not. Might keep you dry, at least. You'll have to be extra sneaky. It's time to set the rival tribe free. Inflict as little damage as possible as you make your way through to their sifu. Convincing the sifu that peace between your tribes is the only way you'll all survive won't be easy. He doubts the sifu will give up without a fight. That's a fire starter. The dry grass looks like it would ignite easily. You just need to create a spark to light a fire. It burns brighter than the light. Hang. Don't stop pounding that one. Damage. Mercy, maybe. Nothing like a story with an unexpected ending. Well, what do you know? The battering bonker looks like a great way to get through the gate. Bet you just need to knock and it'll open up. That's bonkers. The Netra tribe values liberty and is striving to protect freedom. They want to continue with each tribe being responsible for their own and believe that uniting the tribes is the only way you can survive. He was hoping it wouldn't end this way. There's no reason to fight instead of uniting. It would be fighting over nothing.
Nemscher Efkatore.
The rival Sifu is defeated, and the destiny of their tribe is in your hands. You are free to choose their fate, but not free from the consequences of your choice. He'll leave it up to you to decide the fate of the rival Sifu, but suggests you be merciful. Thinks it's a good gesture to offer support to others when you can see that they need it. And with that, You're spinning your own fate, good or bad, never to be undone. Side by side they'll stand until order and stability is reinstituted. He's gotten news that the other tribes have realized there are no winners in this war. There's no purpose in antagonism. The way he sees it is that you've been forced into opposition. Your tribe didn't start the war, but it's fallen to you to end it. It's clear your efforts have been successful. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The tribes are tired of war and will remember the one who brought them peace, whether you decide it'll be now or later. So, do you want to end the war now or continue the crusade? He agrees. Better save your energy for something meaningful. It's the Netra claw chain. Looking down from the mountaintops might be a bad idea. Odd things lurk in the darkest parts of the underworld. Out of Date says there'll be consequences of the war, but there are more pressing matters at hand. The last World Eater has been left undisturbed with the tree while you focused on the war. He thought someone with your light perspective and key would have had different priorities and faced the World Eaters before resolving the tribe war. Regardless, Out of Date is grateful the tribe war is over. Out of Date understands the road has been rough, but you already know what's left to end this journey, and it'll be tough. You're the only one that's strong enough to face the last World Eater. The future depends on someone with a light perspective to give the world a chance to survive. Only time will tell what the future holds, and if it will bring a lasting peace for those that make it to the end. Out of Date says the word about what you've done so far is spreading. The tribes haven't lost hope yet. He appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's had urgent news from his friend Whiz in the northwest. He's unsure about your intentions, but hopes you'll support Whiz. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Whiz and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date's hunch is real. The Merc Puff is up next. Out of Date says that Whiz is worried now that the Northwest World Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Whiz is working on an undersurf vessel in order to get to the World Eater, but needs help to get it done. Out of he's happy to help. Says you'll see each other later. Let's see. Give your mount a pat and pick a path. Whoa, that's some scronky metal strap there. Would leave now. Glitter grass? Bet you find some nono. Grab tight and don't let go. You've discovered Fanaki leaves, the densest jungle in the land. Better get hacking. You could be a secret here forever. You found the Moly Hole outpost, an old Pichu tribe hole in the wall. The Surge Surf Factory. Keep your eye out for Whiz while you're here. Let's see. Whiz isn't easy on the tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Whiz. You might remember him from the old days when he let you try his octopod? Whiz remembers you were such a cheery kid, and he's glad to see that light hasn't faded from you, despite the years. But Whiz understands it was a long time ago, and memories get murkier the deeper you go, but says it helps to have friends with you to plumb those depths. They've been here for you since you were a kidling, but when you left, you also chose to distance yourself from everyone that cared for you. Whiz says our memory keeps things for us, preserves them until we are ready to face them again. He knows you've returned to face Lupa Lupin, and that confrontation is as inevitable as the tides. He's not surprised that the loss of your family could plunge you into the depths forever, but you've always been able to rise like a bubble to the surface, no matter what. He knows that though the tides of history may push you in one direction, you can always lay your own course. Ultimately, it's your choice. You were the one to be wronged and have lived with the consequences. He believes in consequence as it's a direct result of action.
There's a bright day coming!
Hey, that's going to get you burned!
The only one getting burned around here is you.
That stings.
Oh, do you want some first aid for that?
Asks if you ever think about freedom and whether any of us really has it. Did you make the decisions that brought you here, or are you just a pawn of fate? Maybe that's true for you, but he's not so sure about his own fate. Amazed the world is going to continue on, but happy to hear it. Still so many things to invent. Impressed that you fought so hard to keep the world spinning. Thinks you were smart to join with the Myriad. They have a rainbow of ways to approach any problem. Says they're unified in the ways that matter. But that's not nearly as important as this. Whiz says that you should let the past dwell in the depths. But there's something else down there too, gnawing at the Tree of Life. He's named it the Merc Puff. This is why he's tinker-tonkering with the octopod. But the lid got stuck, so he needs a big enough tug twister to open it up and let you a-go-in. He can't leave the surge station, so you must help him find a tug twister. There's a wound-up mecha fingro in the mecha stadium that still has one stuck on its back. Find it, and you'll find the tug twister. It's definitely made to lend a helping hand and do the heavy lifting. Toxinol records mention it as an automaton made for moving bionucleus matter into storage areas. Let's see. Tricky to spy dangers nearby. Wood scrap. The one kind of scrap you could actually still find growing. Bang Shelter 11E. Just the place to ride out a storm. Move before it decides to have lunch. An old home. Could be something to it. Putrefied. Tell it to gallop. That's the hut. Wonder if there's anything still inside. Don't want to point a finger, but the Mecha Stadium is near here. This could be the beginning of the end of everything. Locked up tight? Need the right key? Locked solid. The right key could open this. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick. Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Choo-Choo always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The merc puff is crunching bark by the minute. It's big enough to make waves beneath the surface, and that's a challenge in itself. But it also has a hard shell, so you need to target its head. The hours fly by in the dark. Look at that metal scrap over there. So much water. You've reached the end of the line. Bet you can find Choo-Choo here. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Choo-Choo claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your way. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Says sometimes life runs off the rails, but it's always better when they're good and greased. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. Wingnuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugger-chugger out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run. You get used to the beastly smell, I hear. the wingnut chug tunnel. It goes on forever. Couldn't stand another hour of daylight. Hey, nice shot. Choo-Choo says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason, but he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Choo-Choo says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Seems glad you think so. You're on the right rail. Choo-Choo says he can't wait to get out of this place. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Choo-Choo has no use for it now. Choo-Choo says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Says he can't see the end of your rails, but if you grease them up good, he hopes you'll enjoy an easier ride. Choo-Choo's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be, and no rails needed. Needs no rails, no roads, nothing but air. The world's on the mend, so no need to leave it. But just think of all the places the Ark could take you. Says he's happy to see the Ark in your hands. Knows you'll go great places with it and do some good. Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
A conscious choice to be alone means you won't miss anyone.
The thing we're really missing here is someone with compassion. You just seem to have passion for yourself.
The world would be a better place if we were left alone to handle it. Then we'd only have to talk to ourselves, and that's how you get the good answers.
Well, anyone in their right mind would agree you're better off on your own. Let's hope the Ark carries you all the way there.
Hopes you figure out someone better to ride the Ark with you, if that's possible. Choo-Choo says he's ready to pack. Has plenty to do, so no worries. This might be the end of everything as we know it. Whiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merc-Puff until the octopod is properly armed. He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition. He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang. There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free. You should keep an eye on the horizon for Boom. That there is a fume foundry where toxanol processed go juice. That's a bang plant, where Toxanol used to make all sorts of splody things before it blew up in their faces. Grit. That looks like an unbanged pyro stick on the loose. Better catch it before it goes off. It's a fresh morning. Maybe find some breakfast. The pyro sticks will cause a bang, but targeting is on you. At least now you have a chance to hurt the Merc Puff where it counts. He hopes so, as there's no Plan B, or more correctly, Plan C. Out of Date has named this Plan B. Plan A was to take on the World Eaters by foot, or flaps in this case. Turns out swimming down there was a bad idea. Whiz has been working on another cannon, but instead of pyro sticks, it squirts guppos, scaly distractions for anyone with an appetite disorder, and irresistible for the Merc Puff in particular. Seems the best way to find guppos is go talk to Gill. He has a natural sonar and knows where the guppos sub the surf. This means you'll have to go visit Gill at Burblebottom. Find Gill and he'll be able to tell you where to find the guppos. Tells you it's a sort of fish that's able to reproduce really fast, which is a real advantage when you're going for infinite ammunition. We are lonesome animals that spend all our life trying to be less lonesome. This mount has quite a bounce to it. This is Burblebottom, happy to finally get to meet you. He's seen a lot of things wash up on his miniature shore, but nothing as exciting as you. Claims to have been born swimming, but he must flap-flop clear of it during these dark days. It must have been upstream only to get to this point in your histo-future. But which way are you going now? With the flow or against? It's crazy hard to flipper against the surf, but you can't save the world if you let it sweep you away. Either way, it's a shame the surf has gotten so nasty. Thinks life is like trying to ride a wave. You need to pick the right one, but you don't really know which one that is until you're on top of it. Better to ride a wave than let the perfect one pass you by. Seems to him that there's always another wave coming along. Can't imagine how wonderful it's going to be to surf on gooless goo. The world is going to live. Can't thank you enough for fighting against the goo. Happy you ride alongside the myriad. They bring a real shine to everything they work with.
Worst fest and trip.
But none of that's nearly as important as enjoying the day, right? He never drank from this pond because of the disgusting things done there. Even the fish stopped drinking here after the pollution made the surf mucked and the air blocked his gills. He figures the Tree of Life isn't drinking either. Or, well, that's not true. He said it does drink, as it has no other choice. It's a tree, but it's forced to drink poison. Claim his friend Whiz needs guppos for one reason or another, and Gill is ready to point you in the right direction. But here, you're only going to find dead ones. He's pretty sure Whiz wants them alive. Well, at least the ones that aren't already rotting. If you head in the right direction, you'll find a clean enough bit of surf to snag yourself some guppos. Then you can get them to Whiz for whatever he has in mind. Helping both you and Whiz makes him double happy. So many creatures doing so many things during the day. This is Guppy Grotto. Making great progress.
Get out of here.
It's like a whole different world down here. Lockety-locked. The deeper the night, the darker it gets. This should hold out a bit longer than most. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Just a few moves left. Make them count. So many plants and trees. That seems to be enough guppos to provide the octopod with infinite ammunition. He's surprised the merc puff's been able to hold its breath all this time. It's just another proof of the evolutionary change caused by toxinol's contamination. Being undersurf has meant the merc puff has been left alone to munch on the root down there undisturbed. This means the northwest route has suffered more damage than the others. He's sure there's enough time to confront the merc puff, but he worries if the world has enough years left to last his lifetime, even if you stop the world eaters. That was the last of them. You've sealed the fate of the tribe and the tree. It's time for the end game. You have your destiny. Follow it all the way back to Out of Date. He never told anyone about what's next, but he's sure it involves you. Just continue to stay true to yourself and respect others whatever happens. You've become their pride, the guiding light of the tribe. It's time to return to the tree one last time. Could be danger around any corner down here. Out of Date says the signs of the end of the world are everywhere. It seems nature is preparing to take revenge. The day of reckoning is coming, and you are invited. He can feel you're approaching the end date. If you haven't decided whom of all like-minded, light-hearted beings you've met have earned a seat on the Ark yet, it's time to do that now. Then grasp your last chance to make sure LupaLupin stopped for good. The tree settled its score, but it left yours half done. He says you need to see LupaLupin eye to eye one last time. He's happy to help. Says you should take care. Be careful where you grab that mount. The sifu is seeking revenge too. He hasn't forgotten what LupaLupin did, but he also wants to stop him from attacking his tribe. That the world seems to survive doesn't mean he must. He hopes you agree, even if it goes against your light-hearted nature. There's no room for predators in the world the Myriad tribe is building. But he knows this is your fight. You should handle it. LupaLupin's own fear was his shackles, not the roots of the tree. It just changed him. chance to stand back and let the tribe handle it. The sifu is ready to step into the fray. Are the odds about to change in your favor? If a friend dies, something inside you dies. You can save the sifu by making yourself a target. You're shockwaves spread when the world crumbles. This is not a prophecy, me telling you about the future. It's you shaping it. Here's a vulgar display of power. The more he does, the stronger he becomes. It's time you remember who the real enemy is and stop playing the game his way. This is how it ends. The Predator and the world itself suffering. But at least it's a sign they're both still alive.
So, what we have here is a clear matter of life and death, and only you can make a difference.
That was unexpected, but welcomed. The big bad predator left for dead. I wouldn't have wanted to miss this for the world.
I think the thing we're really missing here is someone with a heart and soul. The only thing we've got left are those who've lost their minds.
Heart and soul, life and death are one thread. The same line viewed from different sides. It's just that my side is so much better.
Well, anyone in their right mind can see you're lost. But you're right about the thread. Unfortunately, it's been very dark and has run throughout, taken friends, parents, and now yet another life.
We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us. There's no peace without forgiveness. It's no better time than now to accept a helping hand. Do you wonder what turn life might have taken if you'd done things different? A left when you went right? A yes when you said no? You've walked the thin line between survival and disaster and haven't lost your balance yet. It's because of you the Tree of Life and the world has been given a second chance. You carried the light in a world full of dark and made a difference in a place that needed change. You allied with the Myriad tribe and acted on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. However, light and dark does simply represent the polarities of life. One can't exist without the other. This isn't the end. Just being surrounded by nature as it heals itself will rejuvenate us. Nature will teach us how to survive. So, trust your conscience to show you the way, and everything else will follow. As foretold, you were destined to split the chains of this world. But you're not alone. The few that shared your perspective and gained your trust will accompany you on your journey. Is there a world out there that's better suited for those imbalanced in their light nature than this one? Whether or not, we'll leave your story on record, so those who come after will know you followed your light nature and saved the world. So, when all is said and done, it turned out to be an unusual ending after all. What could be better than ending the story the right way? Ending it your way, a beginning of something new.